Welcome back to Undercover. We're here with Stav and Jake, not
Hi.
Steak and Jav.
No.
Stav and Jake
Tomorrow.
from Bluejuice.
Yes.
Now, guys, you're about to release your second album, Head to the Hawk, which is this must be a big exciting moment in your career. You know, after being playing around for years and suddenly everyone knows you.
It is big.
Yeah,
And
it's
exciting.
Well, it's different. Like as I was saying in the car, we haven't really noticed it being this noticeable transition. You know, it's just like the last 12 months have been spent like doing stuff,
Just all sizzling.
just sizzling away
Until it gets
the whole
hot.
thing comes to the boil when
Yeah.
it's really hot, as
Yeah.
our manager would say.
Yeah.
And so
Does he do that?
he doesn't.
He doesn't do that, but he should do that.
It would make it all better, but he probably would say that last sentence verbatim. But yeah, so anyways, we've been kind of going around the time Vitriol came out, we really noticed a big change in the band, you know, but we'd already been together for sort of 6 or 7 years. So, so we were used to kind of things going slowly. And then within the last 12 months, it's been a noticeable kind of incline, but we're still working. We still get to a venue and hope people turn up. Like genuinely, really hope people turn up, and we're still trying to work as hard as we can at that ground level of kind of touring to get an audience, you know. And that's very different to what you see on the radio or on television. It's like
You don't see anything on the radio.
you don't see anything.
It's the trick.
That
Unless
is-
something's
different medium.
on your radio, you know, maybe
Yeah.
you put like a pile of
Coffee cup.
CDs or a
Yeah,
coffee cup.
Bluejuice, they've certainly coffee cup the radio.
What?
I'm surprised I can hold down a job when I'm thinking about that kind of thing.
Yes.
So,
You-
in answer to your question, there you go. But yeah, it's good. It's good. Like we're
Yeah, it is
happy, you know.
exciting.
We've had a couple
Yeah.
of singles that have gotten slammed in the last year, and that feels really good. And like we want to make music I personally want to make music that's on the radio, and so it's nice to be making music that's on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. And,
It is exciting. It's also, well, it's actually not really that scary, but it's quite a different position for us to be in.
Yeah.
With a label and with a level of expectation.
we just don't want to let anyone down.
We don't let anyone down, man.
Yeah. So we just want to make music that people will get into and hopefully do for the record, justify their faith in us, basically. Because we were doing it for a long time by ourselves, and we didn't matter whether we had any faith in what we're doing or not. But now there's a lot of other people kind of relying on it, so we want it to come out well, and we put a bit of effort into it.
They're relying on it. Paul Pateco's next meal will come
Come
from
from
whether or
the
not.
head of the hawk.
Yeah.
Please, God, even though I own Splendor in the Grass, it's a massive success by comparison to this piddly little stupid project I'm doing. God, I hope that one single pays up so I can buy my kids some fucking shoes.
So,
Yes.
poor Paul. But if you're watching Paul, they mean it. They totally mean it.
We do.
And
We wanna feed your
Shoeless
children.
Pateco as well, the child. Let's not forget old Shoeless.
Paul Jr.
Yeah,
Paul
speaks with a heavy accent. No, please, Papa, when am I going to get these shoes? My feet are so cold, Papa. I know that Powderfinger are doing well and Spanner in the Grass is great, but...
He lives in Mount Warning, not Malta.
No, but in my mind is this like scruffy-faced urchin without any shoes on. Paul's vaguely etho as well, kind of.
He is. He's a part Maltese.
Well, there you go. He would have the, he's
More Italian.
Maybe
I
he
always
has
forget.
an accent that comes genetically through. It's a recessive accent.
That's right. It's in the 20th chromosome.
Yeah.
This is the easiest interview I've ever done. I just
'cause
say
we're
hi
just
guys, how you
going
doing?
off.
And just go nuts.
Pretty
Anyway,
much,
yeah.
It usually works out like that.
If you eventually you guys will say every word in the dictionary, and then we can just splice together whatever sentence we want.
I think that the Nazis were right.
We feel as if we've been a little bit misrepresented by this.
Yeah, exactly.
the sort of crude editing.
Please don't edit that in. My relatives will be upset.
That's how. He's a Jew, okay? I want
Okay.
you to know he's a Jew.
But yeah.
So anyway,
Yes, sorry.
you kind of cover a little bit of everything. You were saying you wanted to make music that's on the radio and all of that. And,
Yeah.
and there's no danger of I don't even know where I was going with that. But everyone who's
said.
going to hear you is going to hear something in the album that you like.
I think so. I hope so.
Were you trying to make, like, did you have a whole album in mind, or was it just 12 or 11 random songs?
It was kind of like random in the sense that the only thing that, like, we had a theme,
There are themes that exist,
Yeah.
but you sort of look at the collection of songs after and go, oh, well, we seem to be consistently saying this a lot.
Thing or whatever. You know, you didn't notice in the writing. Yeah, I noticed in the writing because like there was a batch of about 4 songs that all related to very much the same
thing, yeah.
You know, and I was conscious of writing it at the time, being about that thing. I was in the process of that thing happening, and then you know that group of songs all seemed to be moving towards being on the album. And then then some of the songs that collected around those tunes had shadows of those things in them, even when we thought that they didn't really, and kind of
Talking in crazy vagaries.
No, I know. Well, it's inappropriate. Like some of the stuff I'm talking about is like about my relationships, and so it's like not really appropriate to kind of say that stuff about the person or people involved. But yeah, like the record's kind of about relationship problems and issues that you face in your 20s and stuff when you're being ambitious about things. And
I think it's just about relationships generally
yeah,
in some ways.
Yeah, it seems to be about conflict with people and yourself, you know, and a lot of it's pretty sad, you know, but it's not doesn't.
But
sound
depressing
like
songs
that.
to dance to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we want it to be on the front cover. Depressing songs to dance to, but it is very much that. It's like a kind of, you know, all this shame and kind of like awkwardness that happens gets sort of just galvanized into this sort of party atmosphere. That's what we sort of want, you know, and that's what we seem to be able to do in the band well. So that's kind of
because life is chaos, man.
so crazy.
It's crazy, man.
Why not just
Those
dance?
You just gotta dance through this chaos, man.
I knew you couldn't get through a whole answer with being serious the whole time.
Yeah, it's pointless trying. Yeah.
But you did a pretty good job, though.
Thanks. This whole album is about flatulence. It's about having the farts.
But you know, if you probably would start taking an album like that very seriously, though.
Yeah, well, I guess so. I mean, I think the you know, the blessing and the curse of this band is that, you know, we won't necessarily be taken seriously.
Yeah.
But it's like, I guess we put ourselves in that position by being the kind of band that we are and the kind of people that we are. But we are serious
Like a pack
about
of tools.
Yeah, exactly. But we are serious about writing it, and it's not as though when we're writing it, we don't feel seriously about the music, you know, because like Broken Leg is a pretty serious song for me, but it doesn't have to be phrased that way. I figure the same is true for the Cars. It's like, I'm sure My Best Friend's Girl is a relatively sort of serious and awkward song to be singing, but it also rocks. So that's sort of, you know, nice to find a balance of those two things.